I'm wearing my jacket, but boss said I'm still too cold. Man, I fucked your bitch, she felt that from her head to toes. I need this guap, I couldn't care about my wrist and froze. Tryna hit that belly like home, and now your girlfriend wanna whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Stay in Place, the podcast. We're back with episode 15. Today, I'm joined by a familiar face in Jojo. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Everything's going well. We're growing. Yeah, everything's good. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, bro. Good, man. Just the football, getting on with things. But yeah, I want to start off with obviously the fixtures that took place over the last weekend in the Premier League. Yeah, another amazing weekend, full of goals and surprises and bangers, really. But yeah, I wanna start off with obviously the Spurs game, your beloved Spurs, who actually lost 3-0 to Chelsea. So yeah, I wanna obviously start off with that and get your thoughts and feelings regarding the outcome of that result. So yeah, I'll leave it to you, and you can just talk to the viewers about what your feelings are.
Yeah, man. You already know. I've already spoken to you about it already. It hurts, man. You know when you're losing to London, when you're losing to Chelsea, like you just them lot giving it the all. They won this, they won that, and obviously the start that we had, like obviously I was expecting like obviously the game before we lost obviously 3-0 to Crystal Palace due to circumstances, but I was expecting a reaction, and I feel like they actually showed the reaction in the first half. Like the way we played, the chances we created, Son going through and could have scored, could have gone 1-0 up, could have been a totally different game. Obviously, these are couldas or shouldas, but obviously it just hurts because the same old happened, and it's like, yeah, obviously Turgo rises high, he heads it home, it's 1-0, deflected, Tuchel changes at half time, changes to 5 at the back, and all of a sudden we just look like lost it in the second half. They get the deflected goal, 2-0. It's game over. And then to lose 3-0 is a whitewash, and it's like it's almost like we got whitewashed. Yeah, it just hurts because it's them. I don't like them as well. It's just as much as I don't like Arsenal, I just don't like Chelsea. So yeah, it hurts. But yes, I just try to avoid a lot of football things. That's how much it hurt me, because I was trying to avoid a lot of football things, like because in my mind I'm just thinking it's like the same old. Like we always have some positive start to the season, and then reality kicks in. So yeah, that's just my thoughts and feelings on the whole circumstance of the game. But within the actual game, there was promising signs from us, but I feel like there's just still a lot of talking points, still things that we need to work on as a team. I feel like obviously we're just starting the 4-3-3 and we're adapting to a new formation, so it's not gonna, things are not gonna be rosy Mary at the beginning. Like it happens with new teams, with brand new men. Everything's not gonna be perfect. So I get that. But yeah, it's like in the league, it's like Kane hasn't, I think it was his like fourth game. I think it's the first time in how many years he hasn't scored a goal in his first 4 games, the first 5 of the Premier League. So it's like, yeah, you're just thinking, you're having questions in your mind. Did we make the right decision on keeping him? Obviously, I still think we did, because obviously City gave us a silly amount, like offered a silly amount for him, the same amount for Jack Grealish. But it's just all these questions start coming in your head, and it's just, yeah, like so many things to point towards, and yeah.
Yeah, and I totally agree with obviously what you've come out and said. Like in terms of the game, obviously Spurs did play well in the first half. They started off really well on the counter and caused Chelsea a few problems here and there. But then obviously I feel like, as you just mentioned earlier, the halftime substitution, I think it was Kante for Mason Mount. That might have obviously benefited Chelsea from being more compact and freeing up plays in wider areas to obviously hit you on the counter and hit you in those departments. But I feel like I want to kind of link it to Mourinho, because Tuchel, like the kind of effect that he's had on the Premier League is like no one would have expected him to, like, obviously he won the Champions League with them last season. No one would have like expected him to like do so well like at this point, like, and him making a substitution, taking off a key player in Mason Mount at half time, and putting on Kante in his place, like said a lot about him. Like that got me thinking that this guy, he's a brave manager, because not every manager would go out and do that. Like, but there must be something about him, something about his aura. And the reason why I said I want to link it with Mourinho is because Mourinho used to do the same exact thing. He's known for doing that, hauling off players, taking players off, like even before the first half, like. And yeah, I just feel like some managers have it and some managers don't. But I feel like so far, every decision he's made, every formation he's put out there, it's just worked so well. And obviously with the goals that were scored, Thiago Silva, Kante, a deflection, and obviously Rudiger finishing it off with a short cutback from Werner. But I just feel like, yeah, like some managers have it in them and some managers don't. And do you feel like that was
Yeah,
obviously and looking back now, it was a very like key decision in taking one of your star players off and replacing them with another in Kante, who is an absolute machine. So yeah, do you feel like that was obviously the pivotal decision
moment.
that obviously changed the game?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Firstly, it just shows the strength and depth Chelsea have, and the way they pulled off that victory just shows why they are definitely title challengers. You know those teams that when at the end of the season they won the title, and them games, like they may not have played very well, like the first half they had, but just scored 3 goals out of nowhere. Not amazing goals, but got the job done. Played well in the second half and got the job done. That's how they're moving. And I feel like Tuchel as well. I like how you compare how you had like a similar to Mourinho. That's like what Mourinho used to do. And I feel like with Tuchel's almost like, I like that comparison actually as well, because with Tuchel, it's almost like Tuchel's doing it in a way now, like it's like a new school era, like how the new school players would like, because the way Mourinho used to do it was like the old school nature of the game, like, and it was obviously working for him back in the day, and he won all his trophies and that. Tuchel's doing it in like a way, because like he's adapted. He's definitely adapted like to the new style of play, new style of football. He's not making players angry, come out like and stuff like that. He's doing it. He's installing a winner's mentality in that dressing room, and he's like bringing like a winning mentality to that dressing room, which is already brought with the Champions League. And yeah, like I feel like it's time to start giving Tuchel his accolades, like as a manager, because that guy, since he's been in the job, took over from Frank Lampard, he hasn't really put a foot wrong anywhere. So I mean, he's done such a brilliant job, and yeah, I feel like it's definitely time. I even saw something on YouTube talking about, could Tuchel even be a better manager than Klopp and Pep? Obviously, I don't know. I feel like maybe that might be a bit too soon, but he's definitely getting in the right direction towards that. And especially adding the Champions League. If he adds the Premier League with this team, I mean, boy, he's a top manager. And
Yeah,
literally, and just to add on that as well, even in the game, literally, not even just the substitutions, he changed he switched up like the way they were actually playing. He switched that up as well, and it actually had an effect because you could see in the first half that he didn't realize what we were just gonna come out, and they probably thought that we were just gonna sit back and counter attack just like we've been doing. They didn't know that it was gonna come at them, and it just took them, like it just blew them away. But for him to be able to adapt, for him not to be able to, they probably worked on a system all week, and for him to be able to adapt in the game and then pull that went off, like he's a top manager, and deserves accolade.
yeah. I totally agree with what you just said. And all credits to Tuchel, because he's obviously installing all these information into the players, and they're actually pulling it off on the pitch. But yeah, another game that obviously took place on the weekend that was very dramatic was obviously West Ham Manchester United, which obviously ended in a 2-1 win for the Reds. And yeah, like what was your like thoughts and feelings in regards to that game? And like obviously as a neutral fan, like how was it from your end? Obviously, I'm gonna get into my opinion on the game, but how was it for you watching it from an outsider?
I mean, yeah, you guys done what you had to do again. Like it's like you're getting the points off the board. You're there with Chelsea and Liverpool right now. Like you did what you needed to do. Ronaldo scored once again. He's like, if that was, he's always gonna be in a position. He's gonna get the goals. Like he's like, how many goals is that now? 3 and 2. Is that what was it?
It's
No,
four and
4 and 3.
3,
4
yeah.
and 3. yeah, like
Yeah.
so. I mean, obviously, yeah, like, and then Jesse Lingard, boy, Jesse Lingard, yeah, he came there. He came, he came, and deeply. I was actually deeply done it in West Ham as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, a very good take on goal. Obviously, West Ham missed Mikel Antonio, but I mean, yeah, like you guys done what you had to do, and then David De Gea, that was a big save, a very big save. But I just want, I didn't. One thing is, I didn't get the whole like. Okay, I'm gonna be real with it, yeah. When what do you call it? Came on to take the penalty, yeah. What's his name again? I forgot it for a second. When Finn came on to take the penalty,
Noble. Yeah.
When he came on to take the penalty, I was thinking, in my mind, I know that a lot of people were questioning it, but I was thinking, this guy's putting the ball in the back of the net for West Ham, like, because boy, like that guy is
He
last
hasn't
season.
missed a penalty, like.
Yeah, he hasn't missed it. Like you saw the graphic that came up,
Yeah.
green, yeah. So I'm thinking, yes, he's definitely he hasn't saved a penalty since like 2016 or something like that.
2014, like.
Something, yeah, some
mad.
weird stat like that. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is the no-brainer, yeah. And then David De Gea steps up and gets you guys the 3 point. Obviously, he became a hero. But yeah, like how did you think of sort of that whole situation?
Obviously,
Like,
I'm gonna get into that, but obviously, yeah, like obviously from the start, it was obviously a deflected goal from West Ham's and obviously came off of Varane. They to be fair, credits to them. West Ham did start off like better than United. United were very like slow. But then obviously that's been the case in recent times. Like United have really started off poorly in games. And that's just been a history of like the past 2 seasons or so, and like they do need to work on that, like start games off better, like. But yeah, obviously with the equalizer, Ronaldo, it just had to be Ronaldo, right place in the right time. That's what we were talking about in last week's show. Like he's a fox in the box. Like he knows where to be, like at the right time. And obviously with Jesse's goal, that was just what was obviously as a defender, like what was more disappointing for me. Obviously, I was happy that Jesse scored, but obviously in West Ham's like West Ham's issue was obviously Jesse's like he's done that week in week out for them like last season. Like he's gonna when he gets into that position, he's gonna pull the trigger. Like you have to defend that. Like you have to like block that. You have to do whatever you can to block that because he does have a really like good shot on him. And he does obviously know where the back of the net is. But yeah, it was a tremendous goal. And obviously it did get United the 3 points. And what was so funny for me was there was like memes doing the round where obviously he didn't want to celebrate because it was against West Ham. He was
yeah.
And obviously Ronaldo and Bruno were encouraging him to like celebrate, trying to throw him. And then obviously there was like memes saying when she likes you. I think it was like on the lines of that, when she likes you or something and you're shy or something.
Yeah, something like
that.
that.
Go chat to her. Yeah, that was just like
go mute it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously with coming back to your point, the penalty incident, obviously United did have 3 penalty shouts before that. I'm gonna be real and say obviously all 3 were not penalties, but 1 or 2 of them should have been given because obviously Ronaldo was like tripped by Kufau in the box, and obviously Zuma's challenge that should have definitely been a penalty if the Kufau incident weren't, because obviously you don't go into challenges, you don't slide in the box like that. And
you're
obviously
giving them the opportunity to give them a penalty when you do that.
Yeah, and obviously West Ham did get a penalty in the last minute, which I was very annoyed about because obviously we should have got given one before as well, but it is what it is. But no, obviously, when Mark Noble stepped up, I was just like, this is an equalizer. Like it's gonna end.
Like, I actually thought that as well, but it's like a lot of people felt it was like confusing because he just came on. You get me? So he hadn't done no running. He was probably just like You get me? He hasn't done anything. So maybe it was a bad decision. But I just felt like when in the moment, like, yeah, like it was a legend, he's gonna just smack this home. You know, like from out. But yeah, De Gea was a hero.
I mean, the
yeah,
stage was set for him, but then obviously what an immense save from David Gea. Everyone was he was written off, but the way he started the season, like Dean, I'm sorry, Dean Henderson, but you can leave if you want. Like De Gea is number one. Like he's the number one keeper of Manchester United. Like the way he started off the season, even though we've like, and we're gonna get onto a couple of other like losses in regards to Man United, but even though we've had like a couple of losses, like De Gea he's been one of the key players so far this season. And obviously, yeah, like you said, like we all thought Mark Noble was gonna dispatch the penalty, but yeah, De Gea was the hero on the day. And yeah, United grabbed the 3 points, so that's all that matters.
It's big as well, because I don't feel like a lot of the top sides are gonna go to their stadium this year and take all 3 points. I don't think so, because they like David Moyes has got them playing well. So I feel like you went there at the right time and you done what you needed to do at the right time. So it just like how you progress from here.
Yeah, it's literally it literally just does like come down to that. And obviously other fixtures that obviously took place on the weekend were Newcastle Leeds. Were you able to see that game?
Oh, that was 1-1. That was the 1-1 game.
Yeah, Saint Maximum. I mean, what a player, Jojo. Like he's unstoppable. I reckon if he was to sign for a top 6 club, he would thrive. He would, because I reckon his issue is the players that he's got around him are not like of the high quality, high standard that he expects to play with. But obviously after the season, I feel like he will get a big move. But yeah,
Saint Maximum is a top quality player, and I feel like you're actually right. All it will be on is him, and if he can be consistent in like a big team. But I feel like just how you said it, because he's not really playing with the best. You get me? He's just playing with like obviously at Newcastle now, and he's excelling at that team. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so much love for Steve Bruce on Newcastle, but yeah, like yeah, I just feel like Saint Maximin will move on to bigger and better things in the future. But obviously, another fixture that took place was Liverpool Palace. Obviously, another Salah Mane masterclass, and obviously even Keita chipped in with the goals, and his celebration. He didn't even know what was going on himself. I think he was just doing a Cantona, just looking around, shocked that he even scored a goal. But yeah, like I just mentioned, another Salah Keita. Mane masterclass.
Yeah, Mane's getting back to scoring ways, and yeah, now I'm happy for Mane that he's actually getting back to the scoring ways. And yeah, obviously everyone at the beginning of the season had their little on whether Liverpool would be there or abouts this season. Well, no, I never ever questioned their team, even though they didn't really make any major signings like the others, like Chelsea, Man United, and yeah, Man City, like they make that many like them. But just due to the squad that they have and due to the points tallies that they've made, even just last year without Van Dijk, like it's just so big. And yeah, right now they're up there. They're up there, they're points, and yeah, there's gonna be a big team. Salah's always gonna be up there as one of the Golden Boot contenders. He's my pick. He's still my pick for the Golden Boot. I think he's gonna get the Golden Boot ahead of the.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be a high tally, but I still feel he will get the Golden Boot just because he's been there. He's been there. He's experienced. But yeah, for it was a good win. Another good win at Anfield for Liverpool. And Anfield will be a tough place to go and do anything there this season.
Yeah, and obviously talking about the Golden Boot, like I saw a stat in the morning, which obviously was about the highest African top goal scorers in the Premier League. I think it's Didier Drogba at the top of the list. I think with 104, 105 goals, and obviously Salah second with 101 or 102. And keeping in mind that Didier Drogba has played 91 more Premier League games than Mohamed Salah. So obviously you mentioned in the Golden Boot, I feel like he's gonna obviously break that highest African goal scorer in the Premier League as well, and obviously that will be a legacy, like to obviously accomplish.
And I don't know who's gonna come close to it. Like if he continues at Liverpool for the next couple of seasons, continues to bag as many goals, I don't know who's actually gonna come close to that record. It's a big achievement for Salah. He's a player. He's one that I like him outside of Spurs. I like Salah on the eye. I feel like he's just just the killer instincts of him. It's mad. So,
yeah, and like we discussed at the start of the season, obviously people weren't talking about Liverpool and weren't mentioning Liverpool, but they are doing their thing behind the scenes. And like, if people keep on like not talk, like if they keep on like not mentioning them or talking about them, they can maybe even be front runners themselves. Like who never knows? Like, but yeah, and obviously another game that took place. Yeah, I'll let you carry on if you was gonna say something there.
No, I was gonna say because they have the 11 to do it.
Yeah.
Like we should know that they have the 11. It's not like they've not like, even though they've been playing for years and they've been playing for years as well, so they know like if underestimating Liverpool, I feel like it's a big mistake. I feel like they're definitely gonna be around and about.
Yeah, it'll be a huge mistake to not obviously mention them as one of the title challengers, but obviously another title challenger in Manchester City who drew against Southampton, which was a poor game, but were you able to watch that game? And obviously, what was your in regards to the penalty that should have been given to Southampton?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I didn't really watch the game, but obviously I know there was like a few, like there was a penalty shot. I didn't really I didn't really see the penalty, bro. Like, did you see that?
Yeah, it was a challenge on Armstrong, I think. Obviously, Walker would have got sent off, but obviously it got overturned.
Was it late? It was late.
Yeah, it was in the second half. It was late. Yeah,
and what obviously, did you think it was a penalty?
I feel like no, it actually weren't a penalty, and it would have been very harsh to obviously send Walker off, even though I'm a rival fan. But as a collective, obviously not much happened in the game, and obviously Southampton have started off the season very well and have like managed to build a base around the squad and have strength in key areas as well. But I just feel like from the get-go, you just knew what was going to happen. It was like two banks of four just defending behind the ball and just relying on.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised because the first episode of our new season, I was saying that I'm putting them as one of the teams to get relegated. I mean, they gave away Vestergaard, they gave away Danny Ings, they gave away a lot of key players in key areas. So I didn't see them.
Yeah.
That's the first game to everyone. I just didn't see them. I just felt like maybe they might be the team that could go down. But yeah, as you're saying, they definitely had a good start to the season, and I'm not sure anymore. I don't know if I should change that position. I feel like they might actually just be too good to go down, because I feel like the teams in the Premier League know like the teams that have been in this Premier League for a while now know when to get the points, know the right time is to start turning up and to start giving it their all. So maybe I may have been wrong in that sense, but we'll see with the season continues. And then in terms of Manchester City, yeah, like they always have a weird slow start like to the season. Obviously, they've lost to us, and now they've drawn points that really and truly they should be taken away from Southampton. So, but we can never ever start saying City the wheels are falling off the City. You know that they're the only team in the Premier League, even without a striker, I can still see going on the most ridiculous run. So it's like, yeah, wait, I mean, it's good for the teams up there right now. Like, they need to take advantage. And yeah, I know we're going to get into that soon, but it'll be a very interesting game on Saturday when they play against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously, I totally agree with what you said. You can never obviously write off City And obviously another game that took place was Norwich and Watford. Watford are looking really good. Obviously, Ismail Assar with the double. And yeah, like I said, the Watford have started off really well. Obviously, with uh, a win over Aston Villa in the first game of the season. And yeah, like how do you see like Watford? Obviously, how do you see their season playing out?
Yeah, obviously I pick let's start with Watford. With Watford, yeah, I did with Watford is a weird one because they actually have started the season well. Even when they played against us, like they played really well. Obviously, I've been watching Ben Foster's cycling goalkeeping thing. He's actually good. His YouTube thing is actually good, and yeah, like they got made some good signs. Even Sissoko, the signs Sissoko, like he's been what do you call it? He's drove well into their team, and I still feel like they will go down, but yeah, they're not. They're gonna be a team that are gonna fight. And then yeah, and obviously you just mentioned Sarr. He's so quick, and he's there. He's a top player. So they've got the players there, and then in terms of Norwich, like I don't know why they do this every single year. Like they're such a team that just come and go and come and go and come and go. Like they're already preparing players for the championships next year. Like they're already trying to buy players for the championship players just to get back up. Like no ambition. Like aren't you trying to stay in the Premier League? Like, but yes, I mean, it just shows you a lot about Norwich and why everyone's got them rightfully so as 20th to go straight back down, which will happen. They will go down. But yeah, with all the other teams, like such as Watford, I still feel like Watford will go down, but yeah, they've got exciting players in their team. And even Danny Rose is there as well. Yeah, they've got some exciting players.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think Norwich is just one of those weird teams. It's written in the stars, like they're gonna head back to the championship. Like let's be real, like let's not fool ourselves, but obviously they have made out a couple of signings. They got the likes of obviously Cantwell and Rashi. I think it's the Rashisha. I think they bought him from Werder Bremen, and obviously Rupp and another Pookie. But yeah, I just feel like the Premier League is obviously probably like too difficult of a league for them. But obviously Watford, I personally don't really see Watford maybe like going down because obviously they do have a strong squad as well.
But I just don't know who they're gonna get in. I just don't know who. I get where you're coming from. I just don't know who they're gonna replace. I just don't know who's. Because I'm looking at Newcastle, I'm looking at Southampton, looking at Burnley. They're just teams that, like, even I said Southampton was the team that I thought because I even thought that I thought that it was gonna be Brentford and Brentford's had an excellent start to the season. I thought it was gonna be Brentford and Norwich alongside Southampton. But now looking at it, I'm thinking, boy, if Brentford don't like lose out on their steam and that, if they can keep going, because obviously I don't know if it's just because they're so excited to play the Premier League, so now they're just pulling off results. I don't know if they're gonna keep going, but if they can keep going, boy, like I don't know who out of them teams. I'm looking at all of them teams and I'm thinking Sean Dyche just knows how to do it. Like with Burnley, that guy, he just knows how to pull it out. Burnley, Newcastle somehow, like even though
Sean Dyche, he's actually signed a 6-year contract. Like that's basically him committing his career to a Burnley Football Club. Like, but another team like Jojo that started off really well to the season and no one saw this coming. Like even though I've rated the manager like ever since he's coming at the club, I went and watched them myself. Is Brighton. Like I went to a game I told you about last season. I went and watched them like live, and Graham Potter's actually got them playing really good football. Like he was obviously managing Osterund's. I think it was a Danish side, obviously who knocked out Arsenal out of the Europa League a couple of seasons back. Yeah, he's obviously implemented his style of football into the Premier League, and obviously he's got like numerous players like playing so well. Like and obviously they cruised with a win over Leicester on the weekend. Obviously with Danny Welbeck getting the finishing goal. But yeah, obviously no one saw this coming. So how do you feel about obviously Brighton were maybe considered as one of the front runners to be in the relegation battle, but do you see that as a case anymore?
No, I don't think. I don't feel like they were one of the front runners, but maybe you always feel like they'll be there and abouts. But I don't think, from what I've seen from Brighton over the last 2 seasons, Graham Potter he's a Tottenham manager. I even remember he's a top manager. I remember the timings where him and Scott Parker were slightly linked to like the Tottenham job as well.
Would you take him? Would you take him at Tottenham? Like,
he's a top manager, yeah. Like the guy, like the way he's implementing his football at Brighton, the way he's got them playing, it's actually nice to watch sometimes, even when we play against them.
Personally, I feel like he will be a perfect manager for Tottenham.
I feel like he'll have us very organized. He'll have us like getting results, and he'll have us like playing good football. But the only reason why at the time I wasn't really keen on it with Graham Potter was like, obviously I'm placing Tottenham on a very high pedestal. I'm placing us on a pedestal. I want us to go. We need to be consistent every week. I want us, like, you get me? We need to be consistent every single week. We want to get back into Europe. We want to get back into this. We want to get back into challenging for titles again. And obviously, he's a very good manager, but obviously, I don't know if that's what he can do. Obviously, I just want the best. I want the top best. So, but no doubt about what he does, because even in the last couple of seasons, the results he's got against the big sides, if you actually see the way they play, they actually play. So the guy's definitely a top coach in itself. So yeah, I'm very surprised about where they are in the Premier League. But then I'm not surprised, because they can actually like do this sort of thing, and I do not feel like they will be going down. Maybe they might get slower and slower, but they will be picking up points against those teams in and around the relegation zone. So I feel like they should be good.
Yeah, obviously right now they're looking really good, but obviously it's about being consistent, like you just mentioned, and obviously they have to do it on a regular basis throughout the season. But yeah, let's see how it plays out for them, and obviously best of luck to Graham Potter on his side. But talking about obviously another set of fixtures that took place in the Champions League last week, which was obviously yet another disappointing result for Manchester United, who obviously which ended in a 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. And obviously, I weren't really too happy about that result, but obviously it was a build-up of mistakes, and that just like obviously cost us the game. Obviously, starting off with Aaron Wan-Bissaka's red card, which was obviously a stupid thing to do, because obviously he was stretching for the ball, but it was obviously a poor pass from Donny van der Beek. But obviously then Jesse Lingard in the last minute passing the ball, his attempted pass back to De Gea, which was obviously taken up by the Young Boys midfielder and obviously dispatched into the back of the net. But obviously as an outsider, how did you see that game? Obviously Ronaldo did get another goal, but it's nothing to look back on really, because obviously we lost the game.
Yeah, no, obviously it was a very good ball for Bruno Fernandes, though. Like, it was a very great pass of Bruno Fernandes. But it was poor. Like, I remember when we lost to Young Boys, that was major. Like, I remember when everyone was getting onto us when we lost to Young Boys. It's poor. Like, and at the end of the day, you're Manchester United, can't really be losing them sort of games. But I feel like you are right in the sense of just mistake after mistake after. You know them I know them ones where something's not going right for you the whole game. Mistakes, accumulating mistakes, and then literally the final one, he brings just Lingard on, and then like that, then that happens, and then he plays it back. It happens. So I don't feel like it's the end of the world. Like, maybe some people might think, oh, like, is this the start of like shackles for Man United? Is Oli good enough? This is that. I feel like we need to go a bit more into the season. Is like, I still feel like you'll get out that group. I don't feel like there's anything that you should be concerned about. But yeah, it's not a good result. It's not a good look to the outside. And yeah, that was my take on the game.
Yeah, and obviously, there is obviously other fixtures and other games to play. But obviously, I do feel like we will get out of the group. But obviously, it was a bad start to the campaign. But obviously another game that took place was obviously City Leipzig, which ended in a 6-3 victory for the Blues. And obviously Grealish got his
Very nice goal.
first Champions League goal for City, which was a solo goal and a very good goal. And obviously Nkunku scored a very impressive hat-trick, even though it was a defeat. It was a very good performance from the young French midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very good. It was actually a good hat trick. Like they took those goals against Edison very well. Yeah, see, just had the firepower. Jack Grealish scored a very wonderful goal. Obviously, Mahrez popping on the score sheet again. Like they just got the firepower to go up against these teams, and yeah, it was another very impressive victory for Manchester City. I feel like with City's people as well this year is not as you normally see have the easy ride to the knockout stages. I don't feel it'll be as easy as it is this year, but when you have the firepower like that, yeah, it's great. But one thing I want to quickly touch on as well with that game is that Pep Guardiola's interview after about like the fans being in the stadium, yeah. And I don't understand it. Literally, yeah. All he's saying is, yeah, like, come on, like, let's get out. Like, I'm seeing from his point of view. All he's saying is like with the fans, like, come, like, because I know he understands it is hard for fans to go to stadiums and stuff, but he's just trying to rile the troops up for the next game. And now you guys are turning it against him, and now you've gone and drawn to Southampton, like. Make it make sense. I don't get it. Like, and he's like, they asked I think they asked him, "Oh, do you want to apologize for?" He said he's thinking in his mind, he's thinking like, why is he apologizing? Like, he's just saying like what he's saying, like he's not even too violent, but obviously everyone's violating with the beams and stuff like that. With Manchester, their fans and their like empty seats and stuff like that. But
yeah, I feel like what he was saying, it wasn't a bad thing because. Obviously, he's not saying it from a point of view where he needs to win. He needs to win over the fans because obviously he's delivered trophies to them. Season in, season out. But yeah, I feel like him probably coming out and saying that obviously as a media like perspective, obviously it does look bad and like it does look bad on his like legacy, which he's like created over the last 4 or 5 seasons at City, but. Yeah, obviously, it is a laughing stock at the moment because he's basically saying we don't have fans. Fans don't turn up to the stadium.
It is. I don't think he was trying to say that, but I feel like it got taken. Like obviously, people are gonna just spin it like, and obviously they're gonna get changed into that. But I don't think that's what I feel like. I agree with. I don't feel like that's what he was trying to like implement. But obviously. As soon as the media are going to grab onto anything now, and then the fans didn't like as well, so they're going to lash onto that now, and that's what it's going to turn into. Maybe we could have said it in I don't know, maybe better, but like I don't feel like I feel like they made it worse than it actually was. You get me? I feel like they must have thought it must have been worse, but it wasn't actually as bad. But they made it for themselves worse than it actually was, and now like empty seats, Man City getting memed.
Yeah, that's the day and age that we live in. That's social media for you. But yeah, moving on. Obviously, Liverpool, Milan, which obviously ended in a 2-1 win for the Reds, and what a goal from Jordan Henderson. I mean,
cool.
the finish, just it was a very good like clean sweep at it. But obviously Milan started off with was it a Rebic goal, and obviously Liverpool came back and won the game. So yeah, how did you see that game?
Yeah, when Milan went 2-1 up at halftime, I even tweeted Milan with the eye, and I was like, "Whoa, they're doing this for Kaka." And now Ronaldo, the old Milan, AC Milan would be loving this. But yeah, no, honestly, Liverpool had to kick into their gear and do what they needed to do to get the job done. And yeah, it was another good performance at Anfield. I'm saying going to Anfield this season is not going to be an easy place to go. If any company once again, like the what do you call it, the crowd very much behind them, get them through it. And yeah, obviously Salah popping up on the score sheet again, and you just mentioning Henderson, what a sweet strike. Like he always comes out of that like randomly, like with a sweet strike. I remember we done something like that against Chelsea a couple of seasons ago. Like he always has like a sweet strike. So yeah, yeah, it's a big win for Liverpool.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned in Chelsea. Chelsea were obviously victorious over Zenit Petersburg. Obviously
1-0.
another Lukaku goal. And
And
obviously they're doing their thing on the pitch. That's all they need to do. Just win, just win. And that's the mentality that Tuchel and Lukaku both have, and that's why they're like playing so well at the moment.
yeah,
It's
I
a
mean
match
that.
made in heaven, like at the minute. Like that's how you can that's how you can describe their partnership.
I mean, in terms of the game, it was so weird because both teams were doing the exact same thing. And that's why it was 0-0 for so long. Like Chelsea wasn't really coming out, and Zenit weren't really coming out. So nothing was happening in the game. One of the most boring games I've watched. I'm not gonna lie, but like nothing was happening. But just as you literally just said, it's a match made in heaven. When you've got a striker that when they get one chance, they're gonna bury it, boy. That's big. That's what Lukaku. We all said it at the beginning of the season what Lukaku's going to do in terms of the Premier League. Chelsea's missing. What Chelsea lacked last year was a finisher to just put the ball in the back of the net for them. Without Lukaku, that game definitely ends 0-0. So it's definitely a match made in heaven. They got the 3 points. Great start to them. Obviously, they're trying to retain that Champions League trophy. And I feel like it will definitely be hard taking it off Chelsea this year because they've got such a strong side, assembled such a strong side, and they're playing such good football on the two shows. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, all credits to, like we just mentioned earlier, Tuchel, and he's got them playing so well in both like competitions at the moment. And obviously, another competition that obviously took place last week was obviously the Europa League, where we saw Dinamo Zagreb play West Ham, and obviously it was a 2-0 win for the Hammers with a solo goal from Rice. Like I think he started from like maybe not even in his half, but from the start of the opposition's half, and he just ran and just finished it.
And it's so laughable. Like they're making Rice look like some Ronaldinho. Yeah, we went there last year, lost 3-0, like over 2-0 lead. Like so, it's just laughable. I remember when I saw the game, and I was like, this is. I said West Ham will go there and beat them. They're nothing. They're not anything special. It's just, I don't know what happened to us last year when we went there and messed up. But yeah, I mean, they were great two taking goals by him and Antonio with great goals. Yeah. Well, great start. I thought the only thing I felt about West Ham is because it was obviously their first time playing European football in a while. So I thought maybe they might, I don't know, the lights might get to them and stuff like that. But yeah, got the 3 points off the board. I mean, David Moyes has got this West Ham team playing. Like, he's not, even though they lost to you guys in the league, this guy, he's got this team. Like, David Moyes is actually, Man United nearly messed up his whole legacy. Like, he's actually a good manager. He's a good manager. I'm realizing it.
Yeah, a good start to the campaign for the Hammers. And obviously another game that I was like really looking forward to, which was obviously Rangers Lyon, which ended in a 2-0 win for the French side. But yeah, going into the game, I feel like Rangers were like, they looked solid, they looked good, because obviously they had a very good campaign under Steven Gerrard last season. But yeah, it was a poor performance from the Scottish side. And
Is Gerrard back in the dugout now, or is he still out?
yeah, he's back in the dugout at the moment. Yeah. And obviously I feel like last season's results and style of play would have obviously been implemented into this season's obviously this season's side. But yeah, looking round, you don't really, it doesn't really have the same aura about it. You can just tell when a team's not the same anymore. I don't know what it is, but maybe it was just Lyon. Yeah, maybe it was just Lyon too good for them on the day. But yeah, hopefully Rangers make it out of the group and obviously progress further in the competition. But obviously another dramatic game that took place, which obviously included the English side, was obviously Leicester City, who drew 2-2 to Napoli. Were you able to see that game?
Yeah, I saw that game. Leicester went 2-0 up. I was like, in my mind, I was thinking Napoli have always had a good side, and that striker is looking really good. He's looking like a striker.
Osmihen, yeah.
Yes. He's looking like a good striker for
I
them.
feel I remember Osmihen. If you remember before Odion Ighalo came to Manchester United and signed for them on loan, United were actually like close to signing Osmihen, and Osmihen, as he's a very close friend to Ighalo, he said that he don't want to sign for the same club because he don't want his countrymen to be on the bench. And Osmihen did say this, and all credits and respect to him. But yeah, what a player he is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the way he took those 2 goals was very good. Leicester, I don't know how the way they've begun the season is a bit weird as well. They've had the weird beginning to the season.
Yeah, it's just a bit up and down. It's not really
I
consistent.
feel like it's because they've had a few injuries as well. They haven't really had like their proper 11 as well, and it may have affected. I think it has affected them, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have this buzz for Leicester at the beginning of the season. Anyway, like everyone had this buzz that they're just gonna walk 5th place, like because obviously the way they've been playing the last 2 seasons. But they made signings, but I don't feel like the signings they made, you get me, like solidified that 5th place finish, or that they're gonna do something in the top 4. So yeah, like it's just been a weird start for them.
Yeah, and obviously one player that I actually want to like talk about in more detail, and he was regarded as one of the obviously up and coming like most exciting players in the Premier League. He was obviously English as well, and obviously was being compared to obviously Grealish. But James Maddison, like, what are your thoughts about in regards to James Maddison? Because obviously he has been playing well, up prior to last season and this season. Like he was playing well, week in week out, and he was like consistent. But I just feel like these past 2 seasons we just haven't seen the real James Maddison. Obviously, he was linked in with a move to Manchester United and Arsenal, but that just didn't take place. And yeah, I feel like Grealish and Foden and Mason Mount are like all on a different level to him at the moment. I just don't feel
Yeah,
like he's gonna
right.
break into that England side as well.
Do you know what's so mad? I remember having discussions around like last year, December, January times, yeah, about like Maddison. Maddison's name was coming up for that England side, alongside Mason Mount, Grealish, and Foden. His name was actually coming up. I feel like his injury has just affected him big time. Since he's come back from that injury, he's just not been the same. Like I remember the way he used to play before that injury. Like that guy, like where he was heading, he was actually looking like he was heading towards being like it. Like he was even looking a bit like he was looking a bit like. You can see how Mason Mount is. Like Mason Mount, like I think Mason Mount was better than him. But at that time, when he was scoring against all the top teams and the way he was taking games on his own shoulders at times, he was looking like even more effective than Mason Mount was. And obviously now time has turned. I feel like the injuries have not helped him. Some injuries just doesn't help players. And yeah, I feel like that's since he's come back from his injury, he's not been able to rediscover the form that got him to how he was playing, and now he's struggling and his name's not really coming out now. And it's just a shame because I remember that before that injury, the Maddison that I was seeing, I remember he was taking games on his shoulders, scoring big goals at big times for Leicester City when they needed it. And yeah, it's just such a shame that I just hope that he can rediscover that form that he left before when he was injured.
Yeah, he is obviously a highly regarded prospect, and yeah, good luck to him. Obviously, yeah, like you said, hopefully he gets back to playing his best football for obviously Leicester. And I just feel like it is written in the stars, and he will obviously play for a bigger club in the near future. But just for now, I feel like he just needs to be consistent to obviously even get a big money move to a bigger side, maybe in the Premier League or outside of the Premier League. But obviously another competition that obviously took place was obviously the Conference Europa League, where obviously your beloved Spurs drew away to Rennes. And obviously it was obviously you might be disappointed, but Yeah, was you really looking forward to that game? Do you really want your side to be in that competition, or did you even watch the game? Like,
Every week we do this, I'm not gonna really give you a great analysis of the conference. I really don't care about the Conference League. I watch the game, but I just like it's not something I'm doing something. I would like go there and beat Rennes like. And you've gone there with Kane, you've gone there with a good enough side to go and beat them, and it's a struggle. Like, there's no care. I don't really have a care for it. I feel like we should just like, literally, I shouldn't say this, but I feel like we should just play our young. I feel like for that game, our first game, we should have played started out Scarlet at the beginning. Our young kids, rested these guys for Chelsea. Like, we've gone there with strength team, and like, there's no
obviously,
care.
yeah,
Like,
it was a disappointment for you guys. Not just the draw itself, but obviously I think Bergwijn got injured, so obviously it is a competition that you don't really want to be in. But
you got a
playing
couple
those types of plays will you like obviously there is like punishments for using your star men in those types of games. But
it is a third Europe competition. Like, it's a third. Like, it's not Euro. It's not even the Europa League. I just don't. I really don't. I despise being in this competition.
I feel like they should just hand the trophy to Roma just now. Just give it to
Honestly,
Mourinho.
but yeah, obviously we'll see. Like, as I always have my eye on the team and wherever they are, what they're doing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, from a low to a high, the Carabao Cup, which obviously took place over Tuesday and Wednesday. And then obviously starting off with Spurs, obviously which the game did end in a 2-2 draw with Wolverhampton, but obviously you guys made it out on the pens. So yeah, obviously take the stage.
Yeah, no, big. It was obviously big, big. We went 2-0 up. Obviously, we conceded 2 goals, but we did what we needed to do. We went there on penalties. They messed up so many penalties, but yeah, I mean, we're through to the round of 16, and I couldn't be happier. I want us to win the trophy at the end of the day. So yeah, Nuno's gone there and he's won there twice. Like, so I got to give him the accolades. Get us warmed up for
Yeah.
next Sunday against Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, he done what he had to do. And obviously, another fixture that took place was obviously Manchester United, West Ham, which obviously ended in a 1-0 win for the Hammers, who did get revenge on us. But I'm not really disappointed at the moment. Obviously, I was disappointed yesterday, but I just feel like now we can just put all our eggs into like these two like competitions, like into one basket, and just focus on the Premier League and the Champions League. But yeah, like obviously Lanzini with the winner. Personally, I feel like we should have got another penalty when Mark Noble pulled down Lingard, but I don't know what it is. Like, if the referees have an agenda against us this season, because people were having jokes and like having laughter on Twitter saying referees love Man United and United always get penalties. Bruno Fernandes is always scoring penalties, but a few technical issues. But yeah, we're back. As we were obviously discussing, yeah, the Manchester United West Ham game, which obviously ended in a 1-0 win for the Hammers. Yeah, we should have obviously got a penalty, but it is what it is. But one thing I want to obviously mention is and talk about is Anthony Martial. Like, his performances like have just been lackluster, just been poor. He just doesn't care. Like, he's just very sluggish on the pitch. Like, honestly, I feel like once January comes, he might even be out the door. But yeah, I'm just very frustrated with him. Like, he should be taking these chances because he knows that he's not gonna be in the first team. Like, obviously with the likes of Sancho and Lingard and Ronaldo, but I feel like every opportunity that he obviously has, he needs to grab it with both like arms. Like,
I feel like Martial's had so many opportunities. Like, I feel like he might have had the most opportunities at Man United to establish that position, and he just never ever grasped on it and taken it. And this season is showing like he's such a talent, because the guy had talent. Like, he had such a talent, but just never ever. I feel like he just stayed the same, just never ever developed. I don't think he got I feel like maybe now he's declining a bit, but I feel like for a lot of years he just stayed the same. Never wasn't really developing, obviously. And then now I feel like a lot of your fans now are starting to realize that he might not be what you need to get you to the next level. In terms, I don't know, maybe as a squad player, but in terms as a starting player and as grasping opportunities, he just hasn't. He has had so many opportunities. He's so young. He's got so much talent, but he's just been there for so long. He's like, I remember his debut against Liverpool, came on, done what he did, got the goal. Boy, this guy's gonna be a big player, and he just hasn't really kicked on. Numbers wise, hasn't been great ever. Like, it's almost just been glimpses of quality. And in this day and age, it's not just glimpses now. Everyone wants to see it on a week-to-week basis, consistency. Stats, numbers to show that develop that. So I feel like this might be the last ride. I'm very surprised Martial's even survived as long as he survived, to be honest. Maybe because of the glimpses of quality he has brought to Man United in the past is maybe the reason why. But yeah, I feel like this might be the last hurrah for Martial.
I feel like Ollie just loves him. Ollie just wants to give him a chance, but Ollie just needs to realise that he's just not cut it out at Manchester United. Obviously, he was signed in 2015. Obviously, his debut goal against Liverpool. He was obviously bought initially for 36 million, rising up to 58 million. 78 goals for Manchester United in the 6 seasons that he has been here. And as a 25-year-old, like he should be doing more, but yeah, I just feel like it's probably just time for him to move on, because the frustrating thing is he has talent. He's a very good player on his day. Like when he performs, like he's unstoppable. But it's just everything to do with him, like position-wise. Where are you gonna play him? Are you gonna play him on the left as a striker? He hasn't really played well as a striker. But if you play him on the left, where are you gonna like put Rashford and Sancho?
He's had the chances. He's had the run in. He's had the run. When we went on lockdown and you guys came back, he had the chance to go and get himself a couple goals. Just put a mark to everyone saying, "This is my position. I'm gonna be the one to bring back the stuff for Manchester United. I want to be one to go out, get the goals or do something." But he just hasn't done it, and I just feel like he's one of those lucky players that somehow he's still got his contract in the squad and the team. Not lucky. I feel like it's a bit hard. I feel like he has shown very good glimpses of quality, like over some of the goals he scored in the Premier League has been very good. Like, you know that there's a player there, but
yeah,
consistent enough.
I totally agree. Like, I love Anthony Martial, but I just want the best for him. And obviously, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be at United. And obviously, yeah, we'll just see how it plays out. Obviously, another game. Obviously, another set of fixtures that took place. Were obviously Norwich. We obviously lost to Liverpool. Chelsea, Villa, which obviously ended in 1-1. Chelsea victorious on penalties. City, Wickham, which ended obviously in 6-1 win for City. Obviously, Wickham came out and scored the first goal, which obviously came as a shock, but they obviously cruised with a 6-1 win over them. And obviously, Arsenal obviously won 3-0 against.
Pep was praising Akinfenwa.
Yeah, obviously Pep. Akinfenwa, you gotta give the man credit. 37, 30, and he's still doing what he's doing at his age. You gotta give credits to him.
Yeah, legend, man. Pep was right, man. Legendary.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the Carabao Cup fixtures that obviously took place. And obviously coming up, last but not least, obviously the fixtures that are coming up this weekend in the Premier League, starting off with obviously Chelsea City, which is a mouth-watering clash. And obviously United Villa, Brentford, Liverpool, and last not but least, obviously the North London derby where Arsenal will be taking on your beloved Spurs.
We're going there, Emirates, on the up block.
Yeah, how do you see that game playing out? Obviously, you would want to win, but coming from like both sides, like obviously Arsenal really haven't started off well, and obviously you had a bright start to the season, but haven't really been performing in the Premier League so far. But yeah, as a neutral fan, obviously hopefully it'll be an entertaining game. But I just feel like it's either gonna be a Spurs win or a draw. I don't really see the Gunners, but then you never know because the Gunners always turn up against Spurs. So
It's a North London derby. It could go either way. You never know. Right now, it's at the Emirates. Our record there is it's appalling. These are the only things that don't go for us. Our record there is appalling. Now, back-to-back, last couple of 2 games, we just conceded 6. So against Palace, we conceded 3. Against Chelsea, we conceded 3.
yeah.
They've obviously just won their last 2, kept 2 clean sheets, 1 wins. It's looking juicy. I want us to go there and do what we normally do, be brave, go there, play the right team, and let's go compete these guys, because these guys, I don't see them as nothing but an average mid-table side. Let's not just beat the Spurs. Like I just see them as, they're not that good. Like they're just an average mid-table side, and I don't want us to be brought into the laughing stock with them. Like I just so they beat us and then now everyone's laughing out. I want us to show levels with them. And obviously, the only thing that concerns me is that atrocious record that the Emirates. We haven't won there since obviously we won there in the cup, but I'm talking about the Premier League. We haven't won there since Yunus Kabul's header. This was in 2010.
Adebayo, Van der Vaart. Is it Van der Vaart days? Adebayo days.
Adebayo days. We went there 2-0 up, and we got smoked. There was times. Do you know how many times we've gone to the Emirates and gone 2-0 up, and just somehow we've been smoked, or somehow we haven't seen this game out. We always score first in this league, so if we do score first, it won't really change anything for me. I just want us to go there and just be brave and just go there and just show that we've showed that right now North London is white. It will be white. It will always be white. Show that we're not on the laughing thing that they are on, and just go there, be brave, and do what we need to do and get the victory. We've got the players like Son, we've got the players like Kane that can still get goals at any moment. And I feel like even though we have conceded 6 as well, Nuno has actually set us up defensively. I'm really liking Romero, the look of Romero, like the way he's looking. And I feel like there could be an even good foundation with him and whoever he partners up with. But I just want us to go there and just get the victory, this long-awaited victory that we should have had a long time ago, because we've had a lot of good performances there. So in terms of that game, I'm going for my team, man. If we don't win this game, then it shows me that as a team, we're far away from where we need to be, and we're not a serious team, and we'll just be laughed at as well, as same as Arsenal. I want to laugh at them. I don't want us to be put beside them as the laughing stocks of two teams that are just never going to be where they need to be. So and then the Chelsea-Manchester City game is a very, very juicy game, because after the Chelsea result at Tottenham, is these guys are they're not here to play games. Now we're going to see if they're not here to play games. You're up against the champions of England. You're up against Man City. They're coming. Now is your time to show them, what, we took the Champions League off you. We're coming for that Premier League. Show them this is Chelsea's chance to do that. And I feel like that's that. I don't even know how I'm going to predict that game. I feel like that is going to be so easy. I'm going to go 1-1 for the Chelsea-Manchester City game. But
yeah. I mean, good luck to all sides in the Premier League, and obviously I'm very much looking forward to it. And on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please do the usual. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Thank you to Jojo as per usual. And we're out. Peace.
I'm wearing my jacket, but bullshit, I'm still too cold. Man, I fucked your bitch, she filled that from her head to toes.